Okay, so today we're checking out more Nightwish. This is Ghost River.
Oh, guys, you're too wild. You need to cool down. Here's a cold shower from the Ghost River!
We're ready for this. Great riff. Sounds so familiar. Nice bass line driving. That's really a preferred bass tone for me. There's different tones you can get from bass. I'm a much bigger fan of the lower end presence, the thicker. I'm trying to describe this for you in a manner that you guys can understand based on the fact that I do play some instruments, but I'm by no means like a music aficionado. But that real low end, tight, thick sound that I get from his bass tone is what I really prefer. In a lot of bass tones, you get more of a thinner, tinny sound and not as much of a low end bottom. I think it just carries the whole mix so much better with a lower end bottom, and it obviously just works very well for their music. I want to talk about his guitar riff up front. It sounded very, very familiar, so I want to go check that out. Killer riff. Let's back it up here. Great riff. See how much low end carries that? That's what I like. Gonna chill out at the Organ of Doom for a minute. Ooh, nice call and response. Hold on. Who did the low end growl? One of them on the last part of that vocal part. Scream! One of them hits a low there, and I know they both can do it. So I don't think I saw it. I'll rewind it. I'll rewind it, and then we'll see if I can see it. But if the rewind doesn't work for me, I'm going to need you guys to tell the old guy in the comments who did that growl. That one. I think it was Floor, but you tell me. Another change. There's that original riff. I think I figured out what that original riff that he's playing kind of reminds me of. It's not a note for note or anything like that. It's just fairly kind of in that vein. It reminds me of Van Halen. Ain't Talking About Love. That's that riff. This has just got some similarity to it. It's not the same by any means, but that's what it's kind of reminding me of. This one right here. Right there. okay, I got to see it that time. That was her, right? That was her just, boo! Sorry if that spiked. That's the closest I can come to doing it. And that's nowhere close. I know that was terrible. That being said, this section has happened twice now, I believe, and when they come into it, I've been trying to figure out what it reminds me of, and keep in mind, I'm on like my 8th or 9th Nightwish song, guys, so I'm not an expert in this band. I'm on a musical journey, whatever you want to call it, of discovery, but I'm just giving you my reference points based on what I know. I know a lot of Pink Floyd. I do understand that I have done the reaction for High Hopes, so I don't know if that's why it's kind of coming across this way to me, but both times that they have come into this section, it just reminds me of some Pink Floyd stuff. Here. Yeah, well done. That went a little long for me. Love the overture in the background. I think that's what they call it. Trying to learn a lot more of the language behind this style of metal that utilizes more keyboards and backing things, especially choir parts like this. I believe they refer to that as like an overture. If I'm wrong and you're a music aficionado, please correct me nicely. I want to go back into this intro just one more time. I love how it drove and kind of built with that backing track. There it is. Ooh. Unexpected change. Nice! Get it, dude! Yeah, hit it! I'm going to go back to that guitar stuff. I'm a guitar player, so I'm a sucker. I also happen to utilize those harmonics quite a bit when I'm playing. I wouldn't say quite a bit. You know, I think it's only really super prevalent in one song I've written. It's a song called The Fight. It's on my band's Letter to Fear EP. It's the kickoff song for that. And I hit some harmonics in the beginning of that thing that sound like a car literally screeching to a halt is what I've been told. But I'm a huge Zakk Wylde fan also, so I like it when guys use the hell out of those harmonics on the guitar. Let's see if I can catch that again. to that riff. That was fantastic. Is that the end? Oh, we got a little surprise here. I really like letting these run out for those little Easter eggs that happen sometimes at the end. This was well done. Solid, straightforward, real metally. The one thing that I like about them, that I can say is positive in this song, that stuck out, is this is just another prime example of how they don't just have a basic, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, out type writing style. I'm sure they have some songs that do that. I don't think I've really seen one yet, but I'm sure they do. My band's pretty guilty of that, so I don't knock on that. I'm just saying it's very, very interesting that sometimes I'm kind of trying to figure out how to talk to you guys, and it's like, oh, where am I in the song? Was that the verse? Was that the chorus? Wait, was that a pre-chorus? Was that a bridge? What? I know where we're at now, so I understand the choruses and stuff in that song, but they don't just use a simple song structure. Even when they have a very, to be honest with you, a very simple song here. This wasn't overly intense from their part. There wasn't too many things going on in the practice of writing or composing this song for me. Multiple repetitious parts, which I like, that I was able to kind of go back to, but they weren't always the same. They were just kind of in that same nature. So this was a pretty straightforward song that just incorporated all different types of composition. Loved all the background stuff they had over the top of that, the overture, I believe. This was just fantastic all the way around. I'm a sucker for the guitar, and a lot of times with Nightwish I don't talk about the guitar as much because it's not always as out there, and it's just kind of laid back doing appropriately what it is supposed to do for the song. But man, I like this harmonic works, killer metal style riffs, and I mean just some classic, you know, thrash stuff even kind of thrown in there. The chorus stuff, go down, that kind of it kind of dragged on a little bit long for me in the middle of the song. Not that it wasn't great, I think it drug on a little bit long, but it probably kind of has to, considering that I think they made 8 switches or something like that in the song. So I didn't see a whole lot to call out there from the perspective of unique moments within the band and so on and so forth. I don't feel like this song was meant to do that. I think this song was meant to communicate whatever the message of the song was, and also give you some driving action so you could just enjoy Nightwish at its best. Floor was amazing as usual. I really liked the low gutturals that pulled out there, so I'm assuming that in both spots it was probably her hitting that low guttural, but if I'm wrong, let me know. Had a couple different things from that from a vibe perspective. The guitar part, his initial riff, if you're not familiar with Van Halen, go check out Ain't Talking About Love. Just listen to the initial like 5-second riff. It just reminded me of that. It definitely is not a Van Halen riff. It is definitely an original Nightwish riff, so please don't think I'm saying that. But that's what I kind of went back to in my brain, like, oh, I can connect this to that. And it's really not bad to connect this guy to Eddie Van Halen. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a really awesome riff that he pulled out. The other stuff that kind of stuck out here for me was obviously the bass from Marco. I talked a little bit how I like that tone, that lower end, lower level tone just kind of sits out a little bit more for me. I like that thickness that it provides versus the tinniness. I don't want to overly hear somebody playing the strings on their bass unless it's just meant for that tone of the song, and it just wasn't here. Everything was done well, mixed well, written well, performed well. Just another amazing Nightwish song. I don't know where this sits in the Nightwish library for me at this point in time. I've done 8, 9, 10 maybe reactions, so go check out the playlist. I've got High Hopes, Romanticide, Ghost Love Score, Story Time, Ever Dream, and a few more. So if you want to see more of me reacting to Nightwish, I've got a whole playlist of it, and stay tuned for it. This was good. I don't think it's my favorite Nightwish song so far, but loved it. I did like how it was more driving. It kept a little bit of that more classic metal style that can appeal to some of the older classic thrash metal heads like me. So we'll do more of Nightwish, obviously. I'm just an old-fashioned classic thrash metal head. Always have been. Always will be. If you're not, go check out my reactions. I'll guide you down that path. And if you are part of that Nightwish family, I once again, thanks for having me.